Student visa interviews. Things you need to know. Interview is the vital part of the student visa application. Knowing what's in and what's out on your student visa application interviews gives you a snippet review. After all, completing the required documents, completion of an online or manual application. This is the last part of the process, where an applicant for the student visa online application must surpass for them to be able to get a likelihood of knowing the chances of your application, as you can easily gauge, in how your student visa application will turn into the approval or refusal. More often, the visa immigration officer conducts telephone interviews regardless on how you are being represented by your agent in case you hire someone as services to assist on your visa application in your behalf. Usually, it focuses more of the details of your study abroad program, your logical pathway, qualification and experience, personal and economic circumstances, previous immigration history, your financial resources and the documents and support to your application. The applicant for student visa must enmesh to the entire details of an application to solidify the rate of success, and should not rely entirely with the agent. Do your homework for you to equip with the information you need to know on how you will handle, respond the upcoming interview of yours, because at the end of the day it is your visa application that matters most to you. Later into this page we will give you a mock interview questionnaire that will give you an idea on what are the questions which may arise during the phone interview. Notably, every conversion you may have is recorded, so it sounds really a nerve-wracking experience. Don't you think so? There is no need to feel anxious if you are just well equipped with all the questions that might thrown at you by the case officer. However, feel confident and be true to yourself, and prepare for you to expect the unexpected. A covering letter, or widely known for many as a study plan, helps to outline your application. Even if you stipulated all the arguments on your application as to claim of granting the student visa permit, still no one knows, and no one can guarantee that there is no interview, no matter how precise your letter is, or how it explicitly complied with the required documents to satisfy the criteria. Still, the visa officer would ring you to test and verify your application, not unless if they satisfy, then it is likely that their decision will solely based on the information you have provided with them. A clutter from your covering letter must though roughly check and avoid technical wordings that may create confusion to the visa immigration officer to decide in requesting further additional documents, which may prolong the processing, or the unlikely that your application might be refused if you fail to do so. A consistency on your answers from the interview should also reflect of that information you have provided in your study plan in general. Study abroad program. There are series of free seminars across the country to promote their respective courses and country of destination. Make sure you have the information of every inch of the course you intend to study, so as the related fees and procedures in obtaining the student visa. Read and research are the keys to further enhance your knowledge, in particular with the application procedures of student visa, as you can just type into Google the right keyword and Google will give you the information you need to know, then read on. But if you think you are not confident to do it by yourself, then get the services of a professional that is well experienced in doing such application. Logical pathway. Every applicant's applying for student visa online application is a must to have a logical pathway as one of the stringent criteria in qualifying to apply in every country, which is the mainstream destination of international students to study and work part-time in Australia, New Zealand, Canada, Spain, Norway, Ireland and the UK, among others. They have specific prerequisites to meet such pathway depending on your individual circumstances. We suggest for you to visit their website for you to get on the information, as we don't want to make an assumption with this page about the pathway, unless otherwise we have all the information needed from you to contemplate what is the best pathway then. Qualification and experience. As always, the course you intend to study abroad must have an inclination or relation to your qualification and experience, to eradicate the issues on why you need to undertake the course program, when in fact it is far from your existing academic credentials and work portfolio. Don't make things more complicated, claim what is part of you to make it easier. Seldom application with no qualification experience related to the proposed course program abroad gets the approval, but it depends on the criteria of the immigration effective, the time you apply on your student visa, and an exception, if you are just holding a secondary high school qualification and the need to study a foundation program abroad to qualify for a higher qualification entry requirements. Previous immigration history taking into the account if application to you, your previous travel, working abroad, study abroad and previous visa refusal known to immigration visa officer are some elements in considering, as to decide a sound decision on your application. A travel if you are able to follow the condition of your visa in accordance to the land law of the country, where you previously have had your visa. B. Working abroad? If you are able to demonstrate that working abroad acquire you to have the working experience needed in qualifying the course program and able to follow the rules of working engagement of the country where you had previously worked. C. Previous study abroad? If you had previously studied abroad, and does not abused, and violated the condition of your study visa permit, and if the course you intend to study again, in reference to your current student visa application is not similar from the previous course you have undertaken under the qualification equivalence framework of the country you wish to apply for the visa, to study abroad. D. Previous visa refusal there are countries where they share immigration information of the applicant, like for example in the US and Canada, as they share the information online from the applicant's immigration information. And in Europe, Schengen countries do the same thing. However, having this said, it does not contravene the applicant in preventing him not to apply for the student visa, as others may think it may have a great impact to the decision on your application. Yes, it may or may not, but again it merely depends on the material and grounds of refusal to demerit your application in a case-to-case basis accordingly. Financial resources this is a major standing block for any of students who wish to study abroad apart from the tuition fees, whether you provide it on your own means or from your sponsors, either from a direct relatives and friends. Each country of student visa application has a specific criteria to meet. A good example is in Australia. The embassy has a special note as to regards on the bank history requirement in addition to the sponsorship from friends for the applicant applying a certificate courses or diploma courses, that is assessment level 3 is not acceptable, while in New Zealand, if the funds of the student is not genuinely obtained or not readily available to them, Immigration New Zealand will require them to have a funds transfer scheme FTS, as you need to transfer your funds at ANZ Bank to cover your living's cost in New Zealand before ANZ finalizes the decision of your student visa application. However, in Canada you could have as many sponsors as you would want to, same in some Schengen countries, but there are again specific details who are recognized and acceptable sponsor. A possible interview questions that is commonly asks, why do you wish to study this course? How this course will benefit your career? What relevance is this study from your previous qualification undertaken? How can you prove that you are a genuine student? Please provide your education history and your most recent work history, and how they are related to the proposed course you intend to study. Will you comply with your student visa condition, and how? How this course will benefit you in terms of your future plans. What do you intend to do after the completion your course study program? What incentive do you have to return in your home country of residence? How would you like to support your living cost and tuition fee cost? The interview questions above varies from country to country of destination to study and apply for student visa, but in our experience it is likely the same, though terminology and approach differ from each other. Also, bear in mind to familiarize with the location of the institution where you will be studying, details of your accommodation, the course intake, course fee and the course description. As simple as that. However, be mindful that all your interview conversation is recorded, as I mentioned earlier. Anything that makes the interviewer is unclear or not satisfied on your answers, she may have a comments to put forward on your application, and later send you the transcript of your communication via email, if there are further documents to submit, or if you are required to write a comments if applicable, as other countries are not allowing an applicant to express his/her comments, unless the client had applied offshore, i.e., in New Zealand, but in Australia they will give you 28 working days 14 working days in Norway to appeal, and about 3 weeks in the UK. If you need to know more, it is our pleasure to give and share with you our experience. Just complete the information section from our main page, and give us the details of what S in and what S out for your student visa interview. If you find this article useful, please like and share to show your appreciation. Thank you in advance. From Visa Online Assistance.